Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nike All Star here from the DD Gods. I'm just coming here with a deck profile from our boy Juggs, man. It's my boy Juggs. Me and him is, I swear he's like one of the best deck builders I know. He's built this cool real deck. He's been killing everybody in the server with it, and it's really budget friendly, so it doesn't have the crazy expensive cards. So I think everyone should check this deck out, man. So Juggs, I'm gonna let you get right into it, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So as you said, Nike, you probably seen me before. But today we're gonna be seeing like a very budget build of this deck. Is Punk Tenyi. I think that this has a really good potential of being like tiered, tier 2, tier 1, or tier 1.5. Because it's just gas and it's very budget. So I think many people can play it in the future. So this is a very budget build. So we have like one ofs that shouldn't exist, and I'll just give you the more expensive options if you have them. So starting off with the Punk engine, you have 3 Xiamen, 1 Deer Note, 1 Foxy Tune. If you really wanted to bump up Foxy Tune to 3, you could, but I'm not willing to pay $120 for 3 Foxy Tune at the moment. And then you have the 3 Telly, of course. So this is just basic Punk engine. It gets into Chaos Ruler and Vampire, so it basically gives you access to your Tenyis and baits out Interruption. So it's very easy to just do all that, as well as just play off with these cards. And if you don't open them, it doesn't matter, because I'll show you a little combo in the extra deck. But in the Tenyis, we have the Sword Soul ratios, 3 Adhara, 3 Vishuddha, 3 Ashuna, and 1 Shatana. The reason I play this card in particular is it's the best out of the level 4 Tenyis, and it can help you go into Boxia, going second. So if you have like Xiamen and Xiamen gets interrupted, you can just Ashuna effect, summon Shatana, and then just make Boxia, summon Tai, do shenanigans. So it's a very good card for this deck specifically. And then for the Sword Souls, you just play 1 Longyan and 1 Taya. These cards are just good. In my opinion, they're just the best Sword Souls to play in this deck, and you only really need these. If you get hit by Token Collector, it doesn't matter, because you're not relying on these cards. So, yeah. The extenders you can add off of Chijiao, and depending on the matchup, you can add Blackout or one of these. Because you don't really use your normal summon, so you can like Vampire Mill this and summon it, or you can like add Taya and summon it. So it's a very free card to just mill or just open. Yeah, yeah, you can bump this up to 2 if you'd like, because we are playing Desires, so you could bump that up to however many you need, but I'd say 1 is completely okay. So, and then for the hand traps, you play. I play 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Ogre. I actually prefer to play. I prefer to play Valor over Imperm because you can grab the Valor off of Chaos Ruler. Ghost Ogre is a weird card because it's not really bad this format. It's just like it is. Well, I lied. It is pretty bad this format. There's not a lot of people on this card is particularly, so you kind of just have to. So I kind of just play it as like a budget option and something to summon off of E-Telly. It does, it does, it does. And I don't know, playing 9 hand traps is pretty good when you're playing just gas. So yeah, they're all extenders because they're tuners. I was about to mention that too. That they're all tuners, so you can make Hulk with them, and they're just pretty good on their own, like as a hand trap. So level 3 is a good level, man. And level 1 comes up too, because you can make hot red, so it's not bad. So for the package that everybody hates is a Scythe Lancia. Realistically, you can cut this entirely. The only reason I have it in is because I'm not playing 3 Vessel because I feel it's unnecessary. But when Desires comes to 3, definitely cut this card for Desires. And if you don't want to play the Lance, you don't want to play the Brick, you could just play a Vessel to 3. And the last card, the monster I'm playing in the deck is Jet. Jet is just like your backup plan. If you get interrupted too much, like if you manage to if you get like hand trapped 3 times, you can still just make Hulk, summon Jet, go into Linkuriboh, and then Jet effect, discard, summon itself, and make Dagda, and then you have Scythe Lock. So this card should not have come off the ban list. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And then for the spells, we have 2 Vessel and 2 Circle. I'm playing around with these ratios, but I think this is kind of correct because you don't want to see too many of these in your hand, and you also don't. It doesn't start anything. And the same thing with this. This is kind of like you don't want to see it sometimes, but not all the time kind of thing. But when you see it, it's really good. But it just really depends on like what you have in hand. So like if you open this and no Tenyis, you're kind of fucked. But yeah, it happens. And then for the rest of the spells, you have Pot of Desires and Called By. Basically, the idea behind Desires is you kind of just use this. You don't use this at the start of your turn. You use this like to dig for more hand traps at the end of the turn, or just like to extend. You never use this to like start off unless your hand is absolute garbage. So if you like desire, if you if you desires at the start of your turn, you know it's a bad hand. Yeah, and then for the last card in the deck, you just have 1 blackout. Honestly, running desires in this deck is really good and really bad because you're playing a myriad of 1-ofs, but it doesn't matter if you banish them because you make because you banishing one of these cards doesn't matter as long as like you can still make this card live, or you can just make a board because this deck just it makes boards and it can Scythe Lock too. So that's it for the main. Main is 40, but you can bump it up to however much you want. And then for the extra, I'm playing 2 Monk. I played 3, and it just didn't come up at all. So I'd rather have the space than Monk. So Linkuriboh. This card is pretty good. Just make Scythe pretty much. Scythe's Disciple in this deck. Because there's many turns when you get hand trapped to death and you end on Dagda and Hulk. So Linkuriboh very much helps with that. And then you're obviously playing the Dagda Hulk package. It's just don't need to explain it. Extender, and then help Scythe block, and then this is just unfair card. And then 1 Shaman. Shaman isn't a weird card, but it's still necessary. It just helps you extend. The only issue with it is that you can't activate stuff out of the extra deck except Tenyis for the rest of the turn after you use the effects, but the Reborn is really worth it. Like if you need it, it's pretty good. And then you have Zombie Vampires or 1 Xyz. This card is pretty good. Don't need to explain this one too much. It's for the P.U.N.K engine. And then we have for the synchros is TG Wonder and Yazi, Chaos Ruler for the miscellaneous ones. Chaos Ruler, the idea behind this deck really is just you dump all of your Tenyi to the grave, and as long as you have a Tenyi in or like a Monk on field, you have all of those are live. So, and with Vampire, since you're playing 10 Tenyis, you're guaranteed to mill at least one of them. With Vampire, you just summon the Tenyi and then link into Monk if you didn't open any Tenyi stuff. So it's completely fine. TG Wonder, really good card. Pop Scythe and then immediately synchros into a Synchro 10. You could. I'm not playing Baron in this list. If you have Baron, please play it. Card doesn't deserve. It just needs to be played. It's just a good card, man. And you have, of course, the Chizhou. You have Berserker. These are just like generic worms. You play Berserker just in case, like you Shaman lock yourself. Because like if you Shaman lock yourself, you can't Chizhou. Then you play Hot Red. Way you get to Hot Red is there's a guaranteed way to get to Hot Red. Like instead of summoning the Foxy Tune, you summon Xiamen. But it's always better to summon Foxy Tune. So it's just. But a Hot Red is in here because it's just a good card. And then you have the Evil Longyuan and then the Chengying. What you would replace for Baron is the Chengying itself. Because it's a really good card in this deck, but Baron is too good. Baron is too good of a card. But yeah, this deck is just like there's just some weird interactions you have in this deck where like you have like a Tenyi or two in hand, like an Ashina and like an Itelli. The hand's immediately broke. Like this hand is just like mill 9 plus full Tenyi combo. It's pretty nice. But those are the hands you're usually gonna see. Like if I were to shuffle up really quick and you were just like I'll just cut half and you just like probably see duplicates because it's just yeah, there we go. So this hand is pretty good. This hand just says Scythe Lock pretty much. Like even though you didn't, yeah, because realistically, if you like you summon Vishuda and then you link into Monk and then you just add Hara, the Hulk is just Scythe Lock. So, but realistically, if you were to get interrupted on the Hulk, you could just Desires for like extenders. So if I were to just Desires here, hypothetically, so if I were to banish 10 and then draw 1, draw 2, that's combo. You just have Xiamen. And because we're good, you banish the Scythe, but it doesn't matter because you can still end on like a bunch of other stuff. You can end on like Hot Red Chizhou or like just like a bunch of good cards pretty much. Because not everybody's going to be playing through a Monster Negate plus a Nomni Negate pretty much. And you can also end on because you can just end on like cards like Hulk, or you can even like end on the Dagda, so you can pop the Lancia. Kind of why I like Lancia in this deck. It's like another Scythe. Yeah, like if the Scythe gets banished, you can do that. But yeah, I don't know. I think this deck's pretty good. I've been enjoying playing it for the past few like the past week. I went against like P.U.N.K Adventure, and I went against P.U.N.K Adventure today from one of our boys in the server, Swag. And we ended up winning that game because Scythe is a good card, and Tenyis are good at extending. So
And yeah, man, Juggs, appreciate you for doing this deck profile. And yeah, man, we're gonna try to bring more content in. I know we've been pretty slow lately. We just all been trying to play like actual Yu-Gi-Oh, trying to get ready for Nats, and we all played in the YCS. So it's really been tough times, but we're gonna try to get back to it. And yeah, man, thanks to everyone for understanding. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe again, and yeah, peace, boys.